Hey, what's up, you guys? Here is my storage for my X-Wing stuff. Basically, at the point I'm at now, I have a separate card storage and everything else storage. As this wave continues to grow, this might not be enough, but if you are starting out, this is an excellent way to go. This is a Plano Tackle Box. I forget the model number, but it's fantastic. It's a popular one. There are a lot of different Plano models, and a lot of them offer really great options. There's a longer one. This one is about, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall and not that wide, but just wide enough to fit dials in here, and it has 4 racks of cases. And see in here, and it comes with a ton of these little inserts, so you can kind of design them however you want. I just do this big open piece for all my maneuver dials. I throw asteroids in there. Range. This is one of the longest pieces. Your rangefinder, and this fits just perfectly in there. And then so I have all of my tokens and stuff underneath my damage deck here. I actually have the damage decks for the Tantive 4 and then the transport are both underneath there, sealed in their own bags so they don't get messed up with anything else. And so the next one, I do all my rebel ships. And here I've got the Falcons, well, the Falcon and the Colt 45, B-Wings. I actually have 5 X-Wings now. My 3 Y-Wings, 2 A-Wings. I only have 1 HWK. I don't really care for that ship too much. I'll get another one eventually. Next is Imperial Stuff. Imperial Stuff is tricky. I've recently rearranged the way I have my Imperial Stuff because I got to make room for these defenders that are going to be really awkward. So we've got interceptors in there. The TIE fighters, I actually just line them up. I kind of stagger them because I can fit a lot more that way instead of just, doing one at a time. Whereas like with TIE Advanced, they can get in their own. I can do TIE Bombers in their own. But I don't know, lately I've stacked all the bombers in this bigger bay right here. A couple more advanced. Yeah, if you're counting, I have 6 advanced in here. These are my lambdas. I have put some foam in there to try and, I was experimenting with custom shapes and kind of cut these with a scissor, so they didn't turn out too good. But there's my 2 slaves. And I have all the other all the inserts that go there. I'm gonna have to probably store all the inserts somewhere else once wave 4 comes out. All right, and the bottom tray here is all maneuver dials and all bases and plastic pieces. And then this is just all of the upgrade cards for the large ships. I just put them all together, the Tantive and the transport. I just don't know what to do with those right now. I'm waiting on a new card storage option to jump on me, but then I'll figure something else out. And I keep all the big ship stuff down here. It's important to know that, like, I didn't realize this at first, but the huge ship bases are actually different than the large ship bases. Like, here, let me zoom in on one. Looks kind of close, right? And compare that to that. It's a little wider, and you can't fit the same pegs into each one. So you'll be out of luck if you're trying to do that. So that's basically all the 4. Oh, I gotta put you back up top. That's all the 4 drawers that come with it. It also has a smaller drawer up here. I put my huge ship bases in there. Got dice in there for whatever reason. And then I have some counters in here. We've done these for like custom scenarios before. It's always good to have some counters and dice. Maybe if I get some kind of scenario where I got a ship with like 30 shields, I can use those 2 10-sided dice. And at the top, I've custom cut out some foam here to fit my transport and my Tantas. I got their maneuver dials tucked right in right there. And see, I just cut all that out by hand. It doesn't really go too deep in. It's just rests just enough to where it's not gonna move. And these aren't glued in or anything. These are just individual strips, and I cut each one. One good thing about this whole top compartment, I used to use, when I was first starting out, I just used to use a real thick, if you can tell by the thickness this is, about twice as thick as one of those individual trays, but I used to have all my ships in one of these when I only had a handful of ships. Well, this thing can actually fit in here if I take all the other stuff out. So if you want basically the 4 mini drawers and a big drawer, you can fit all that other stuff in there if you don't have large ships. Or if you're going to store your large ships somewhere else and transport them somewhere else. Alright, so here I have my handy little Star Wars lunchbox. Now the Star Wars lunchbox is just for basically anything, but specifically what I used it for most recently was for a tournament. See, I bring my whole setup when I'm going to play casually, but for tournaments, they don't really want everybody to bring their whole setup because there's going to be so many people and there's not going to be really enough room for everybody to put this giant suitcase down. So I just, pick out just the tokens I'm going to need, just the stuff I'm going to need, and so I have a little, I can just bring that and then it takes up a lot less room. All my extra boxes here, I kind of store all excess tokens and all the extra doubles of everything. Because I don't bring every target lock with me. I don't bring every focus token. I just bring, about twice as much as I'll ever need in a game. And everything else I keep back here. These boxes are actually pretty decent. And then here I have, in this other one, I've got some extra bases and pegs and all that stuff. Now card storage. This was an old folder I had back in high school, and I actually used to use these for this Decipher Star Wars card game. But basically, it's just normal baseball card or collector card pages. And so I sort by, have them sorted by ship type and then by faction. This is a decent way to do it. It's a good way to find your cards and everything, but the problem is when you get into the small cards. So now, I don't recommend storing your small cards this way. This is part of the reason I have, I'm seeking a new way to do my cards, because, it's a great way to organize them. It's a great way to look at them, but they flop around. They don't sit still, and if you get too many, they can fall out. I actually recently had all of my cluster missiles just fall out. When I was walking, and they're gone. I don't know what happened to them, but they all fell out. And I had never even used all of them before, so I know that they just literally fell and slipped out of here, probably when I was bringing them out to my car or something. So what a lot of people will do, and I'll show you here in a second, is they'll take their minis and they'll store them like this. They'll store them sideways. And this works really well. I'm trying to do this one-handed here. I should have thought this through beforehand. Here we go. All right. So you can have two side by side, and that fits a lot better. But if you really, really, really want to be, totally legit, you need to consider putting them in a sleeve first. So at the last tournament, I just put all my cards in sleeves. So 2 of them fit into a sleeve perfectly. And then if you put that sleeve in a page, then that's going to hold them really tight. But you're going to run into problems there with proton torpedoes, because if you have a decent collection, you're probably going to have several thousand proton torpedoes by the time. Well, I'm exaggerating, but I think I've got 10 or 12 right now. And so I don't necessarily want a page full of proton torpedoes. So I'm just, I don't know. I'm looking at maybe boxes. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I got. If I come up with a box solution, I'll let you know. And that's kind of how I store all my stuff. This is how I ran setup for the last tournament too. I just had a ship like that, and I had all its upgrades right underneath. You know, so that was kind of cool. It was easy to transport. I didn't lose anything that way. Hope you liked the video.